Hello, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine. Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet Hope, Chicago. 224 446. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on, honey, don't you wanna go back to the lemon line?
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show of shows with your greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Website, ntnm.org, all shows on YouTube. Community policing, the schedule for 2014 is out. Sonny Hirsch is the chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. Go to caps24.org. It is a pleasure to have my favorite judicial blogger, as a matter of fact, the only judicial blogger in the area, and somebody who's certainly learned a lot. It is, you know, I always enjoy reading his blog called For What It's Worth. We're talking about Jack Leyhane. Jack, how you doing?
Avi, good to see you again.
You too.
And it's nice to, it's like, I'm your favorite blogger in this whole room, right?
Absolutely.
and I got to tell you, that gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling. Thank you so much.
I do have you bookmarked.
Well, you can't ask for more than that in this life, can you?
Yeah.
So,
So earlier this week, as we film, everybody had to file their petitions. He had to have it in, and challenges are about to start and all that. But were there any real surprises to you in the race?
yeah, there were a number of surprises, I think, in terms of persons who announced that they were going to run, planned to run. I think you even had one guest appear on your show who was talking about running, but ultimately chose not to run. And some of these people are very good, capable people, and I'm sorry that they're not going to be candidates in the race. But I think what's happened is we're looking at a primary election coming up in 2014 where this is going to be a real dull Democratic primary. Governor's race is not going to be very interesting in the Democratic primary. The Senate is unopposed. You're not going to have any interesting races until you get down to the judicial races. And frankly, that's not going to be enough to entice the casual voters. I think if you're going to have casual, people who don't vote in every primary, they're going to be the ones going over to the Republican primary in March and deciding who's going to face Pat Quinn in the general election.
Yeah, no question. There's some that's a very interesting race, and we saw it 2 years ago too, when in Jewish communities, in particular, like the house in West Rogers Park. In West Rogers Park, a third of the people took Republican ballots, which is why guys like Michael Bender lost, and in now it's 51%.
So what's going to happen is, I think the people who are smart and who think about these things are believe that we're going to have a really low primary turnout. And that's it should confer a very big advantage on the slated candidates. And I think a lot of people who looked at the slated candidates said, maybe we'll take a pass on challenging them this time because we just simply can't put together winning numbers.
That's probably the case. I know there's people that, that's correct. By the same token, the 9th Sub-Circuit, which is my home turf, that really surprised me because, you went to Lou Lang's slating session.
I did.
There were 12 or 13 people that showed up, and there were people I never even heard of be interested at all that actually filed.
And most of them did.
Yeah.
And most of them did. 9 is probably one of the more crowded races. Every race has multiple candidates, and
at least 3.
At
and
least
I think
3.
There's like 11 or 12 candidates for the 3 slots.
Right. I think we've got 11. 11 as of December, whatever day we're filming this, December 4th.
Right.
This is bad when you're not oriented to date and time, isn't it? That's
Well,
that's
try
a
to be
bad
just
sign, isn't it?
On TV it's better that way. But yeah, we might have one dropout because Joan Gallagher is filed for 2 different races.
That's right. The law allows a candidate to file for 1 countywide vacancy now and 1 sub-circuit vacancy, and she had to make a decision. By the time this airs, she will have made that decision. Of course, there may also be challenges. I mean, I know you have Jim Nally as a regular guest. He'll be probably leading a few of those challenges or defending a few of those challenges, and there will be, there will be some more attrition on the ballot, just as a matter of course.
Yeah, no, that's logical. And who knows, like, especially people that aren't used to the process. If, the rule of thumb is you should really get 3 times the required number of signatures. And, if 1,000 is required, as it is in some of the sub-circuits, and you get 1,200, you're almost invariably going to be knocked off the ballot.
Right. And the one thing that I go on about these days is that we are in a situation now where, once again, not one Republican filed for any countywide vacancy, a circuit court vacancy, or for the appellate court vacancies, of which there are 3. So the election is already over for, as we sit here today, the election is already over for several candidates, the 3 countywide circuit court candidates and 1 appellate court candidate, barring some independent getting the gazillion signatures that are required and going through that process. There will not be any challenge to them in the primary or in the general election, and they are as good as elected right now. And all of the winners of the March primary are virtually assured of election in November. And I don't think voters understand that. They think that when there's an election in November, that's when they elect people. It tain't so when it comes to judges.
Right. This is the whole battle is right now, and that's why no matter how tempted I was to, because of boring primary 2 years ago, to want to vote in the Republican primary, because that was actually a contest, I'm going to stick with the Democratic ballot because I want to vote on the judges.
Well, I think that anybody who practices law in Cook County, anybody who's interested in the judicial system in Cook County, pretty much has to vote in the Democratic primary, and of course that segues into kind of a suggestion that I have. I mean, look, as we're filming this, WGN is running a series about sub-circuits are bad and they want merit selection and they want this and they want that. And that's fine. You're never going to get those kinds of changes in this state. There's no political will for those kinds of fundamental changes to go forward.
No, none. And the funny thing to me about merit selection is who's going to do the picking? Mike Madigan?
Well, in most states where they have merit selection, it's the governor who's the ultimate appointing authority. And I'm not sure that in the state of Illinois, with our track record on governors, that we really want to have governors, making long-term judicial appointments. So. But be that as it may, I think there is a simple solution, a relatively painless solution, and one that I think that we can get the political will behind to make it happen. The world did not come to an end when the Chicago municipal elections became technically nonpartisan.
Right.
I think we could do the same with judicial elections. It just seems to me that at some point, we are disenfranchising. I don't know, 25%, a third of all voters in Cook County who would vote in the Republican primary or who are Republican voters who simply never have a say in electing judges except in the far northwest suburban 13th subcircuit.
Right. So are you talking about the idea where you can vote you can vote either Republican and Democrat in each race, but just for one person in that race?
No, where you could vote, you could take a Democratic ballot, as is your custom, or a Republican ballot, as is your custom, but all the judges would be on both ballots, on all ballots. You could come in and take an independent ballot, and all the judges would be on that.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
I mean, it seems to me that the world would not end, the political parties would not crumble, and we would not be disenfranchising voters, and we would have a chance. I think there's a perception of fairness. I think part of the problem that people have when they grumble about, you know, the judicial system in this county and in this state comes from the fact that, you know, we do have a partisan election process. And when we have a partisan election process, you know, in Cook County, you know, it's the Democratic Party that controls the process, except for very limited areas. Outside of Cook County, with relatively few exceptions, it's the Republican Party.
No question. We're really out of time right now, believe it or not.
Wow, we went fast.
Yeah, it always goes fast. I want to thank you very much, Jack Leyhane. The blog is For What It's Worth. If people would like to contact you,
please check in at the blog. There's an email link, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Jack Leyhane, which is a kind of a boring Twitter handle, but what do you expect from a lawyer?
Jack, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.